with that. I think Bishop, I saw him walking up the way. Nobody holds. Hey, when they never took 30 minutes, that's it. I probably should have been dead. Hey, it goes out my mind, my body. Whenever you're there. Hello, champ. What's going on with you, babe? Good. Where are you sitting at?
You right there.
Right. What? On the floor. Am I leading in?
You can. That's fine.
Okay. And welcome back to the Black College Sports Network, to the Game Time show. In between action here at the SWAC tournament, none other than Vice President Intercollegiate Athletics, Ashley Robbins at Jackson State University. And welcome in to the show, bro.
Man, glad to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Another barn burner between
Right.
Grambling and Southern. Your Chargers are coming on later on tonight, but I tell you what, man, I saw a straw poll, Jackson Mayoral race. They got you in the lead.
Oh man. Hey, you know, we just trying to do what we do at Jackson State, man. You know, SWAC basketball. You know, I'm a product of this.
Yeah.
Played in the conference, man. And this is SWAC basketball, man. What you just saw today. Think about the number one seed. If I'm correct, I don't think a number one seed on the men's side has won the tournament in the last 5 to 6 years.
You're right.
So, you know, man, and you look at the rivalry games come up, you know, you have a Grambling Southern game quarterfinals. You know, I had to be here to see that. But it was a great game, man. Great SWAC basketball, great for the conference. But it's a really good game between really good two basketball teams.
Yeah, you know, it's very interesting you say that because you were a part of this action in terms of being a student athlete. But what were your memories of just being in part of the SWAC?
You know, man, I tell people, man, that was the best time of my life, man. You know, playing in the conference, playing basketball. In college, man, the 4 years I played, man, played for the great Lafayette Spilman. It was some great basketball, man. You know, SWAC basketball is really good brand of basketball. And I tell a lot of people, you don't know it until you get in.
Yeah.
We bring a lot of coaches that come from bigger conferences and played in bigger conferences. They come to the SWAC and they think it's easy.
Yeah.
And it's really not. You know, it's a great brand of basketball. Got some really, really good coaches, man, here. And they're doing some really, really good things. And we have some great athletes, man.
No doubt.
There's some great basketball players in this conference. So very excited about what's going on in the conference. Very excited what our commissioner is doing, man.
Yeah.
For the Southwest Athletic Conference, being a product of the conference, man, seeing the growth, seeing where we were and where we are now.
Yeah.
You know, it's exciting, man. And I'm excited about the future.
Part of that growth, first year here in Atlanta in terms of moving that SWAC basketball tournament. But Atlanta as a whole, this area is represented by everybody's alumni. So another, stroke of genius, if you will, from the commission.
Yeah, man. You know, I like Atlanta. I think Atlanta is, I'm gonna be a little biased now. Atlanta's been good to Jackson State.
It's been very good at Jackson State.
Very good, man. So hopefully it'll be good this week, man. But you know, we have a great chapter here. I think Atlanta is the HBCU city.
Yeah.
I think, they're really embraced in HBCUs. They come out and support. The city comes out and support. You know, we have a lot of good events with the BX SWAC, the Celebration Bowl, and now the SWAC Championship in basketball. And I think this is great, man. I mean, a great venue here, professional venue, Atlanta Dream venue out in the Gateway area. I think this is good, man. This is good for recruiting. It's good for the growth, good for sponsorship, good for SWAC, good for basketball, good for the alumni.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good, man. So kudos to Commissioner doing a great job of bringing the tournament here to Atlanta. And kudos to the city of Atlanta for the support. They bringing the tournament here, man. That's what it's all about, man. When you can invest in these kids. And I tell people what we do every day is all about these kids, man. That's what it's all about. And we're definitely investing into our student athletes.
No doubt. Lady, you want to jump in?
I don't know if I could get into this D.I. Love party that y'all got going on over here, man.
Well, man, it's always a D.I. Love party. Everywhere you go. You can't do it without D.I. Love.
I got you. No, since I missed most of the interview because I was a little bit late coming up trying to chase down the final stats.
Right.
First of all, I just want to commend you and thank you for everything that you do, not only for Jackson State University, but for HBCUs as a whole. As you're one of those athletic directors that really other people look to for guidance and inspiration. Hey, they doing it over at Jackson State. Why don't we try to emulate this over at our institution?
Standard bearers is what he's looking for.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Mr. Producer. But I definitely want to thank you for doing that. And just while I have your ear, just kind of talk about some of the some things that's going on in some of the non-rare sports. Obviously, we know what's going on here with the tournament. We know what you guys did in football, but what's going on in some of the other sports over there in Jackson?
Jackson State, athletics, we're doing really, really good. We got about 9 sports competing right now. Our baseball and softball team is doing really, really well. Tennis team is doing really well. Bowling team is doing really well as well. So all 9 sports are doing well. Our track team is about to compete in the outdoor, just competed indoors, outdoor. So very excited about the future. Very excited about this semester. One exciting thing that you want to add, we just added men's and women's golf. Just hired a golf coach, Rob Ford Jr. He's going to take on, and he started recruiting, hit the ground running.
When does that come online?
It's going to come online in July.
Also
Yeah.
next year,
So we hired a
26,
coach,
Yeah.
25, 26.
25, 26.
I'm already
Eddie
excited
Robinson,
about
right.
that.
You didn't hire Charles for that?
Hey, John said he had too many jobs. So,
Okay, right,
so,
right,
yeah,
right,
so,
right,
you
right.
know, hey,
And don't y'all got like a somebody on the tour right now came out of y'all institution, if I remember right?
yeah, I think
Tim
O'Deal.
O'Neal.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
O'Deal.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. So
My
golf
classmate. Yeah.
has a great tradition, man. So we're very happy about that. You know, that was we got away with that program in 2017. I came in 2018. That was one of my initiatives to make sure that we bring men's and women's golf back. So very excited about that. I think that's going to really take on with an exciting and a great, successful golf program. And we want to bring that success back that we had about 30 some championships. Coach Pay did a really, really good job building that program, and we want to bring that program back. We got a Jackson State alum that we hired to lead the charge, and we're very excited about the future of our golf program and all of our sports at Jackson State. Very excited. So that puts us at 18 sports. So you know what that means, right? No more commission to come for nobody else. Hey, I just got through talking about the commissioner, and he showed up.
I know you
See, that's
you
how
gave
things
him
work.
kudos.
I just gave him kudos, and he showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Jason Cable need to be on alert, huh?
Well, you know, I'm not gonna call no names. You know, Jackson State just, we do what we do. We hadn't just started doing this. You know, I tell people all the time, if you check the history of Jackson State, Ashley Robinson don't have nothing to do with the history of Jackson State. Ashley Robinson is responsible for building on the great tradition of Jackson State and keeping that tradition going at Jackson State. Jackson State been doing this a long, long time. You know, we got a great tradition. 4 Hall of Famers, over 100 players get drafted to the NFL, over 170, 80 championships overall. So we're excited about the things we're doing, but we want to build on tradition. 89%. We want to continue to do that. We want to win on the field and off the field. So we want to, when you leave as an athlete at Jackson State, I want you to have a degree and I want you to have a championship. And that's the goal. And then you leave with that big job. So that's our goal for our student athletes.
And we need you to have that big job so you can write that big check to
Right.
give back.
Exactly
Always.
right. No, absolutely.
Actually, let me pivot back to why we're here, the basketball tournament, and your assessment of the Jackson State basketball this past season. Mo Williams doing a bang up job with the men. Margaret Richards, first year at Jackson State, 13 new players on the roster,
Right.
and she led them into the upper echelon of the SWAC.
Very excited. You know, I'm going to start with the women's program. You're talking about, you know, a brand new coaching staff. Talking about 15 brand new players. And everyone knows the success we've had in women's basketball. And Coach Richards came in and hit the ground running. You know, did a great job recruiting. We were right in the top 4. He could have easily been in the top 2 or 1. You know, 1 or 2 games away. So she did a really, really good job first season here, and it's not over. I think it's going to be some exciting things at the tournament. So very excited the future of the program. I always look at our program of who you're recruiting, what are you doing, what are we doing down the line, and you know what are some of the things that you're doing to make sure that we can continue the program going. You know, I tell people work starts when you have success. So you know, everybody wants to beat Jackson State. So we have to continue to grow our program, continue to invest in our program, and continue to give our coaches what they need to be successful. Coach Richards has done a really, really good job carrying on that tradition. And on our men's side, Coach Williams has done a really, really good job in his 3rd year, finished 2nd in the tournament. Very excited about this week. I think it's going to be some exciting things for both men and women this week.
How is it for you? I mean, you played this game.
Right.
I know when I'm around Dr. Kevin Granger, he still watches it with a point guard's prism. I mean, how is it for you? I mean, because you were out there on the court playing this game.
You know, it's crazy. I talk to Morgan and Mo every day. We talk basketball. You know, I know basketball, so we talk about it every day and seeing it and seeing, you know, some of the things that we have and seeing the growth of the program. And being a former player, you kind of know what to look for.
Yeah.
You know, I tell people no more. You know, I was a 10 and 12 point guard. You know, I was a double in high school and college. You know, average 10, 11, 12 assists. There's no more 2-point guards no more. So you know, I always tell Coach Williams and Coach Morgan that you have combo guards now. You know, if you look at it, you have the big guards bringing the ball down. You know, you have the bigs 6'4", 6'5". You know, that point guard is very, very important. You know, I always say you can't win basketball and football. You can't win football without a quarterback, and you can't win basketball without a point guard. And if you got those 2 leaders, you got yourself something. You really take your program to another level when you have that. And I think we have that on both sides.
One other thing, you mentioned point guard, basketball player. I just went through my Rolodex. I think it's like 6 athletic directors in the SWAC that are former basketball
That's right.
players. If I
That's
got
right.
my number, if I got
Absolutely right.
What is it about the sport of basketball?
That's what I was
Great
gonna
sport
ask.
about that. Jason Campbell, Jason Cable, and Travion, we all played for BCSN.
Oh wow.
Jason was at Alabama State. I was at Valley. Travion was at Southern. We all athletic directors, and we played basketball, played against each other, doing some of the same
Wow.
things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, it's always a pleasure having you here on this program. Last thing, you mentioned the legend, Lafayette Stribling. What is that one thing that he left you with that you could pretty much go throughout your career on that he instilled in you?
In order to be great, you got to do something that's never been done before.
That's good
That's
stuff.
something that he talked about every day.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me.
Shout out to the memory of Coach Lafayette Stribling, one of the legends of this game. I'll tell you what, man, always enjoy when you stop
Appreciate
by.
it. Thank you.
All right,
Yeah.
that's
We'll have more here on the producer.
we're our producer goes. So you just drop your heads there. Me and Charles just go fake it till the producer gets back to cuts us off.
Right. Here on the Game Time Show here on the Black College Sports Network.
Yeah.
Ashley Robinson jumping in. They'll be out there tonight at some point. What was that? They got
8:30.
8:30. Got the 8:30 game. Okay.
Against FAMU.
Against FAMU. So, Tigers and Rattlers, that has become the new something.
It's becoming a rivalry. It's slowly becoming a rivalry in the SWAC.
Exactly. You guys are working your way. You still
We
still in your neophyte phase, but you're working your way through. But I tell you what, it is always great coming here to this SWAC tournament, being a part of this, and then getting some great games like we just got.
Oh my God! But we're gonna talk about that after this break, right?
After this break.
After
We'll
this
come
break.
right
Oh, we're
back
taking
here.
a break? That's
Yes,
what y'all
we are.
looking at me like that
Here
for,
on the
huh?
Black College Sports Network, here on the Game Time Show. We'll be right back. All right.
Dunkaroo.
I'll lead in.
Okay.
Yes, Drew, we need more. New. We need updated profiles. Yeah.
You'll need it. Oh, okay. I should pay attention.
Yes, he does not pay attention. Everybody, welcome back to the Gateway Center here in College Park, Georgia. We're back with the BCSN Game Time Show. You know what it means. Inside HBCU Sports Lab, the BCSN Sports Wrap, the Carlos Brown Show, ONG Strike Zone. And see, now what we're about to do. Wait, hold on. No. What we're about to do, what most of you don't know, and I don't even know if either of the two of you know it. The actual very first HBCU that was on the Black College Sports Network was a Grambling State University broadcast by one Mr. Santoria Black back in 2005 as a regular when we put their show in their network on the Black College Sports Network, and they were the first full-fledged streaming HBCU in the country.
Yeah, thank you for joining, having me here, man. This 2005 seems so long ago, and so many gray hairs ago.
Right. Well, Santoria, we thank you for coming in and sitting with us. You were just calling that last game on ESPN Plus. The last 15 seconds of both the regulation and the overtime were just great. Talk to us about that game first.
Well, I tell you what, Grambling was down at one point by 13 points. And at that point in time, a lot of people said, look, Grambling's going to have a major run. They're going to have lots of stops, and they're going to have lots of scores. And it just started. There was a timeout that was called, and slowly but surely they started coming back into that ball game. But when you get to that last 15, 20 seconds, I told Tolly, I said, watch Nunley. That was the last play that Noel ended up getting the dunk on. I said, watch Nunley on Dozier because he is the defensive specialist for Southern. And lo and behold, Southern needed a lot of things to happen for that overtime to happen. They got the ball in. Southern was able to get the turnover. Nunley got his hands in there. The ball was saved and then thrown down to Noel, I believe, for the dunk in order to go to overtime. And then you get to the overtime, and it just was back and forth. I mean, just the hearts of two champions. Free throws down the stretch matter. And I think that's what people really need to realize. If you're going to win the SWAC tournament, you have got to make free throws.
No doubt. But Stan, you've watched Grambling up close all season. What is it about Coach Jackson, especially now, once we turn towards tournament play, they're starting to hit another gear.
One of the things that Coach Jackson said, especially after that loss that they had to Alabama State, is that this is a new season. So they beat Alabama A&M on that Thursday night, came back, lost to Alabama State that Saturday night, which was senior night. And then one of the things he told the guys coming to this tournament is, you guys have to remember, we're the defending champions. We have to make sure that we have a very good tournament. And it starts with Alabama A&M, a team that they just saw on that Thursday night. You saw them play extremely well. You saw them get up and down the floor. And although Alabama A&M had a ton of length, you saw Grambling be able to really play good defensively. And they hit 8 threes in the first half of that game, which they hadn't hit that many threes in the first half of the game all season long.
Wow.
Then you come into this game here, and they knew that they had to have a good game against the number 1 seed in Southern University, a team that they lost to, I think, 7 by 1 game and 7 on the other. But winning the rebounding edge was going to be important. Free throws are going to be important, and defense was going to be important.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I had to step outside to make a phone call, and it was about 9 minutes to go in the game. Southern was in control of the game when I stepped outside, and I walked back in overtime, and I'm like, what the, what the rest of it was.
Everything changed.
So, like I said, I just heard you describe it and everything, Santorius. So, as you're watching this go on, and as you describe it, what's going through your head? I mean, are you serious? Is this really going to happen? I mean, what are you thinking in your head?
It was a 17-0 run. I
mean, look, I didn't know if Grambling was going to be able to come back against this Southern team. There's always an opportunity in the tournament because you don't know how things are going to happen. When Grambling started making that comeback, I told Tolly, I said, this is something that I haven't seen coming back from a 13-point deficit the way that they did against Southern. And when they were able to do that, I said, Tolly, this is going to be a fight. And it was. It was a back-and-forth fight. Even when Grambling went up 5 with less than 30 seconds left, we said, well, they don't need to hit a 3 or they don't need to hit a continuation. And look at what Southern did. They were able to come back, tie the ball game up, and then all of a sudden, this game goes into overtime. So I just think that this was a game that I thought when they got to overtime, I said, gosh, that team that really hits free throws late is going to win this game.
Yeah. I mean, what are your thoughts thus far? We've seen Valley knock off FAMU. This one was a huge one as well. Grambling over Southern. Are there more surprises in store for us?
I don't know, but I tell you what, anybody who comes to the SWAC tournament, I'm just going to encourage you to take your medicine.
There you go.
I mean, that's what I'm going to encourage you to do, because when I tell you that this tournament has really done a lot to get the excitement of these fan bases. I mean, just look, how long has it been since Mississippi Valley's girls have won a tournament game, and then they win in overtime against FAMU? Unbelievable game. And then you start taking a look at just the very first game of the tournament, overtime there. I mean, and then this is the third overtime in 6 games.
And you and I, we've done a broadcast together. We've talked about the parity in this league. From night to night, you really don't know for sure what's going to happen from night to night. But from 1 through 12, anything can happen on a basis. That's the thing that I kind of take away coming into the tournament, that anybody can be beaten. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You take a look at Prairie View coming into the tournament on the women's side. Prairie View doesn't have Casey Chairs, who's their 3-point specialist. She hurts her hand against Bethune-Cookman, and so she's out for the tournament. What does Prairie View do? They come in and they beat Bethune-Cookman. In the tournament in overtime. Here's your first one. The second game, the men's game yesterday, I think that was a game probably you're just like, okay, we see where there's going to be a little separation. We're going to see. But then that next game, here comes Valley and FAMU, and from the very outset, Mississippi Valley came to play. And you'll notice their big girl, she hasn't played the full season. She didn't come back until the conference season had started. What a difference she made yesterday against FAMU and then going into overtime. Then this one here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's, look, I think that if you're a fan of college basketball, you got to be here this week.
Got to be here this weekend. Yeah. It's been fun.
Santori, so I'm gonna help bring your pressure down a little bit, as opposed to talking about these games that have been going on that have been great. Let's talk a little bit about, you've been around the SWAC for years. What is your impression so far of the SWAC tournament now being here in Atlanta?
I think it's great. I think you're in a major metropolitan where there are a lot of fan bases that have a lot of people. I just take a look at the college. Let's just take that. There were so many alums from the different chapters here in Atlanta that help with the college fairs. From Pine Bluff to Prairie View to FAMU to Grambling, there were a lot of alum to help with that college fair.
Yeah.
You look at the fan bases that are here representing these schools, and there's so many large fan bases in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You look at FAMU, you look at Grambling, you look at Southern. A lot of fan bases who have large followings are right here in Atlanta, and not that far away. You got Birmingham, which is close. You've got Florida, you got Tallahassee, they're close. And so I think so far it's been a great tournament here in Atlanta. The hotels are close.
Yeah.
You've got the airport right here sitting in the backyard basically of this arena, so you can get an easy flight in. And I don't even think you need to take anything but just a train from the airport to the arena. So
exactly,
I think it's great. I think so far you see a lot of fan bases who are here who are enjoying themselves.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, man, we got to let you go cool down your vocal cords, man.
I'm telling you, man, look, 2 games I've done in overtime already. and I tell you, if this is what the tournament is going to be like throughout the week, I think fans are really in for a treat throughout the country.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Santoria Black, voice of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. I tell you what, for the big game, you got to have this man on the call. So we'll be back here on the Game Time Show here on the Black College Sports Network with more.
All right, everybody. Hello and welcome. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Game Time Show live here from the arena here in College Park, Georgia. We're going to go ahead and let you guys get a look here really quick. I'm going to zoom out and get us the full view of this arena to let you guys see what's actually going on, man. There is a lot of stuff happening here. Folks are out, folks are around. We're getting a lot of people coming in and out. Of course, as we start to get ready for the nightcap games, Southern University versus Mississippi Valley is coming up. Of course, the stands are cleared out now in between as people are checking out some of the vendors. They're going to get food. They're doing all those things that folks do at a tournament. But we want to just tell you, make sure you get back in. You'll be able to, of course, watch the games. They're all on ESPN Plus and getting out and doing some things. And we will be rolling back around. We're going to go ahead and shut down for now since both Charles and AD Drew have disappeared on me. Not really sure where they've gone. We're looking at a couple of other interviews that we might be able to pull up a couple of coaches. If we can get them, we will bring them in. We'll be probably before 5 minutes. We won't go back on no later than, or no more than 5 minutes prior to the game. But definitely stay tuned. We'll be here in between this game and the nightcap, and then just getting ready for it. Of course, tomorrow will be the quarterfinals. I believe we'll have those quarterfinal games tomorrow as well, and we'll be doing the same setup. So keep yourselves locked in and stay tuned with us right here on the BCSN Game Time Show. I think by the time we get to this next one, the dean should be in the building with us, Dr. Kenyatta Cavill, making his way to the area. So you guys stay tuned, and we'll be back with more right here on the Black College Sports Network.